All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number one. Whoa, game number one. And Vinchester's not seeing his sheep right there, Vinchester. Okay, he might be able to sort it out. But anyway, this is a Gold Rush game, guys. This is a Gold Rush game between Vinchester and Fire. Vinchester's one of my favorite players. People on YouTube and Twitch recently have really been enjoying his play. He's a very aggressive player. And Fire, he's been around for a long, long time. It's going to be tough for him to deal with Vinch today, I feel. So I should say before we get into all the introductions that if you're seeing this on YouTube, you're seeing this because this means it's a quality game. I'm at an interesting point right now with my YouTube and Twitch where I don't think I'll be uploading full sets of games to YouTube simply because it doesn't grow my YouTube channel. And people, when they see a YouTube video, they expect it to be like top quality, right? I don't want to upload a whole series and have half the games not be what I would consider top quality. So if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to see the full set, then you can look in the video description and you can see the full set. It's just unlisted. So it's not going to be public on YouTube. And in the event that I don't have that unlisted in the description, just stop by my Twitch channel and watch the past broadcast. It'll be just like you had watched it live here. So first game of the day is a Mayans war, and it's on Gold Rush, one of those maps that's always special, and Vinchester has a special map generation. He's so close to this hill where all the gold is. Players on Gold Rush, they will start with 7 tiles of gold at home. So you look at Fire's base, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and eventually players will have to get the gold in the middle. And Mayans, they have 2 strong options to utilize gold with. You have the plumed archers, and then you have the eagles. Occasionally you'll see players go for crossbows, just go for the regular archers, but more often than not we're seeing plumed archers and or eagles. I think that going plumes is the best approach here, but we'll have to see what these players end up doing. I will say that both players want to have safe stones. Vinchester has very safe stones. He can easily wall off here. He can easily wall off here as well. Issue for Vinch will actually be that he doesn't have any safe starting golds, so while he's closer to the center, these golds are actually a bit too far forward for him to like that. Problem for Fire, though, is his stones are forward. Both of his stones are forward, so while his golds could be walled in, his stones are far enough forward where he might actually consider going for maybe just regular crossbows. And fortunately for him, he's going to see his boar. That boar was just hiding in that fog of war. So I wonder what they'll go for. It's got to be crossbows for Fire, because I can't see him justifying going fast castle onto those stones.
34, as you do, when I came across T90 Futanari, that led me to your YouTube channel, which led me here. First.
Oh, he is this, okay.
Your content on all 3, man.
You know, those stones were confusing for me, guys. You see how there's 2 stones for Vinchester. There's normally 2 for each player. So the fact that there's this large stone pile here is really awkward. So if Fire wanted to, he could actually take this stone. Now, is that still at risk? It is, if enemy archers were to come in, but at least it's behind the walls. I see a lot of people go for drushes here, so you could build a barracks and then send a few militia out. We might even see the wolf rush guys. You can see these 4 wolves are next to Fire's base. Yeah, here we go. Vinchester might be considering a drush. Drush is just simply meant to buy yourself some time and to delay your opponent. And yes, that's what Vinchester will go for. But Gold Rush is one of my favorite maps. You don't need to go to the middle very early, but I'd say all throughout Castle Age players are going to be fighting for this. And even if there's no castles in the center, we could see siege workshops and whatnot. But whoever wins this hill tends to win the game. There's a game that I'm actually going to cast between Fire and Twig that was on Gold Rush. It was Mayans War. That'll be on YouTube within a week or 2. I saw that the other day, and that was really cool. But casting this one live, don't know exactly what's going to happen. Fire clicks up to the Feudal Age, so we have a different approach from both players. I think Fire wants to go to this gold. He thought about this one. And Vinchester, he's staying in Dark Age, guys. He's adding more villagers. He's pushed in some deer. And here come the militia. Now, sadly, they won't really have much to do. They'll attack Fire's walls, and that's going to be it. Fire's got to be going for straight archers here. Ah, yes. Yes, we have some deer hunters here for Fire. Jamie AOC said that he wanted me to give a shout out to his Age of Empires friend, Deer Hunter, who's probably watching this on YouTube. So, there you go. Deer Hunter, there's your shout out, bud. Gratuitous, I assume you wanted to say grid, not grip overlay. I don't think there's a grip overlay, is there, guys? Does anyone know of a grip overlay? I assume you meant to say grid. I don't use the grid simply because it doesn't look as nice. It can be useful, but for the most part, I know when to look for holes. So, I'm normally able to survive. It's not purty, indeed. So Vince just now clicks up to Feudal Age, guys, and really this whole build comes down to how good your eco balance can be. Also, you have to rely on some walls. Because Fire, he's building up towards military, and he's able to make that military. Vinchester's still in Dark Age, and his 3 militia are not going to do much to protect him. But Vinchester will have a lot more resources, and he's doing this in hopes that he will be able to hit the Castle Age faster. And I'm just trying to analyze his eco situation. I think he'll be close. Mayans are deceivingly strong at this. He might be at 420 food now, but he has the gold he needs. He has 5 on berries. He has the farmers. He has the shepherds. So maybe he'll be okay. Still uncertain on how I feel about Fire's approach. He only has 1 archer right now. So I'm just not sure if this is going to be enough. Vinchester can easily catch up to these numbers. I think Fire's approach is a high economy approach. So he, instead of adding a second range, is considering adding more farms. Probably because he recognizes that Vinchester at this rate will be in the next stage much faster. And he doesn't want to be too far behind. I like the move there from Fire. He knew the wolves were there. And he ran Vinchester into the wolves. Vinch should see those. He'll probably want to avoid them, and he does. Yep, 2 ranges for Vinchester. Blacksmith for Vinchester. Vinchester just needs to garrison some vills. Bring in the food. And look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Not even 1 food to spare. Vinchester's on his way to Castle Age now. He's trying to full wall this side as she's just checking for holes. Vinchester will run inside with her and then probably plug the gap. He's making archers, and already he's going to be close to what Fire's archer numbers are at. So I like the approach a lot more from Vinchester here in game 1. How many views are we at on the Twitch stream, guys? Did we hit 2 million? We'll hit 2 million this week for sure, unless you guys just stop showing up entirely. But yeah, that's pretty crazy to me, man. It's pretty crazy to me. Julian, thank you for the compliment, man. Oh, we got some wolves. Oh, Vinchester, find these, please. Find these, please. Find more. Find more. Oh, he doesn't know about that. That would have been so cool. He's gonna take these wolves towards Fire's archers. Now, Fire, I don't know if he's aware that there's wolves here. So he's gonna lose an archer to wolves. And he could lose more. Let's see if he can micro this. Look, this archer's not getting away. Fire gets T90 wooed. Meanwhile, Fire's gonna lose his eagle. He has to avoid these wolves. Luckily, he spotted the rest of them. And everything's going right for Vinchester here. He's going to see the archers now. So he knows that Fire's sneaking that way. He's in Castle Age. He's getting crossbowmen, so his army's stronger. And Fire, I just don't really understand his strategy choice in this game. 1 single archery range. Sure, if you know you're going to be late to Castle Age, that's one thing, but why not pressure more? If you know your opponent is going to be vulnerable, why not make more archers and pressure in Feudal? It's a little bit too late now. Fire arrives to the woodline of Vinch, and already he needs to run away. So, well played Vinchester in game 1. He's an aggressive player. Already he's going for the university, so he can get ballistics. And Fire has not had a good start at all here. And I fear for him because his stones are in vulnerable positions, remember. Vinchester is slightly closer to the gold. He's in the stronger position. He's looking to cut off these archers. And yeah, these archers are dead men walking. There's no way those archers survive. Vinchester does the right thing. He keeps 2 crossbows chasing these, knows that they'll eventually die. And then he sends the rest of his army forward into wolves. But he'll be fine here. And then more and more crossbows going forward for Vinchester. So, amazing Drush Fast Castle. I believe he was in the castle age before 17 minutes game time. A lot of you guys out there, not to bash you, but you might find that difficult without even making a militia. Micro from Vinchester's on point. He doesn't lose the crossbows as I expected. And, man, so many wolves! Is Vinch gonna lose a crossbow? No, he won't. But Fire will lose a Vil. Well, I do like the fact that Fire's now going onto 3 ranges. He knows he's way behind, so he knows he needs to push back. Well, let's see what he can do here. Fire's going to hit Castle Age, but you know what? Vinchester might be at the top of this hill before Fire can get his upgrades. Okay, Fire on garrisons because he wants to keep Vinch from running up that hill. Wouldn't surprise me to see a siege workshop at some point from Vinchester. But I guess, does he need it now? Not really. What he will need is Bodkin Arrow. He doesn't have that yet. Oh, he's going to the top of the hill. He's going to take the fight. He's going to take the fight. Now, Fire's getting Bodkin Arrow. Vinchester does not have that. So while Vinchester has ballistics, he does not have the range, and he's bringing in the wolves. I think this could kind of bail Fire out here, depending on how his micro is. He loses the game if he doesn't use his range. And yes, Vinchester needs to run away, and that's a smart move. The reason Vinchester didn't have Bodkin was because he created more town centers, and he's trying to create vills, right? So he didn't have the food. A wise move from him to run, because if he lost his army here, that would give Fire an opportunity to bounce back. The Fire will be looking towards ballistics as well, so these guys will actually be even on upgrades. And Fire looking to just plug the gap there. He's not going to be able to do that. Vinchester's going to hang around here all day. Fire needs this gold. He needs to kill the crossbows. Vinchester's crossbow micro is always exceptional, and already you can see 1 Vil. Almost 2 villagers down again for Fire. Fire's at 37 villagers, Vinchester's at 43. Vinchester has 20 military, and Fire has 12, and Vinch is going to come forward with the siege workshop. And honestly, this has been perfect for Vinchester so far. He has more kills, he has better positioning, he has more population, he's going to get a free Vil pick there. And I also love the style that Vinchester's using. You guys might not realize it yet, as Fire loses another villager, but a castle's going to go up for Vinchester sooner rather than later. He's on stone with intentions to build castles in the center of this map. And where's that? Where's the Vil? Ah, here he is. Oh, there's 2 Vils running forward to build the siege workshop. See, if Fire needs a good Mackinell shot and then a lot more after that. Because even 1 good Mackinell shot might not be enough for him here. Benny the Doc says, hey T90, first time catching you on stream. Welcome to the stream, Benny. Welcome to the stream. Ibrahim, welcome. I'm going to give shout-outs to subs, resubs, all that stuff in between the games. Because I have to focus on all this. Vinch is going to kill that Mackinell. Has the hill bonus. Kills it with 2 shots. Forces Fire to run away again. Yeah, I just don't know if it's possible for Fire to come back here. This has been so clinical from Vinchester. He has a 13 villager lead, he has a military lead, he has a positional lead. He's really just ahead in every single facet of the game right now. Remember, Fire's not on stone, so Fire can't make a castle. Vinchester has 1 crossbow there to deny that stone. And the rest of the stones are forward. Yeah, Vinch does not need to push anymore. Just needs to hold this. And he'll probably build his castle. Well, the question is, does he build it here? Or does he build it in the center of all this? I think maybe he builds it more forward. Well, regardless of where he builds it, it'll be a strong position for him. And yeah, he builds it on the hill. Honestly, guys, would not surprise me to see the GG coming in soon. Simply because Fire's so far behind. And once the castle comes up, we'll see plumed archers from Vinchester. Plumed archers are better than the crossbows Fire's making for a lot of reasons. And Vinchester will see the mangonels. He reacts by backing away. And he'll have 3 mangonels of his own, which is more than Fire has coming up the hill. And Vinch just, he doesn't need to fight this, right? He just needs to be careful that he doesn't take a lot of losses. And he micros down 1 mangonel. He wants to micro down a second, which he will get. Can he get the third? He will get the third, and that's got to be the game right there. Look at that. Vinchester just destroying Fire in game 1. Fire's 20 vills behind. He's still behind with position. Vinchester now TCs the center. Just don't know if there's a way back for Fire here. I don't think so. I think he could kill all of the crossbows that Vinchester has. Vinchester would still have a commanding position. Commanding lead. Vinch is an incredible player. And I think what Fire needs to do is stay on 1 TC. Adding extra economy now doesn't make sense. Maybe try and go to the Imperial Age faster. Build a castle, go for Trebs or something. I don't know, but where would he even build his castle, right? It's going to be tough. Thumbring's on the way for Fire, so he does recognize that he needs to upgrade what he has pronto. It's one way he can get an advantage. But he doesn't know the castle's there. He will find out if he tries to advance up the hill. And in just a few moments, Vinchester will probably be raiding Firestone. Oh, Fire! Yeah, see, look, he patrolled into that. Very good split micro to get away. But now that he sees the castle, he's got to be disheartened. Vinchester takes a huge hit from Fire's mangonels. But I don't think Vinch will be too worried still. He splits again. He's looking to kill the mangonel. He doesn't need to kill it. No need to overinvest Vinchester. He's just giving Fire a way back if Fire were to loop around to Vinch's base or something. Which I think is what is coming. Yes, Fire's going to go around. Fire, though, has to leave his stone, which is really annoying for him. He also doesn't have too much defending his gold. Vinchester could go there. But luckily, Fire is forcing Vinch to come back. Because Vinch needs to deal with this. But this is where Vinchester's plumed archers can really help. Because he's going to have the speed. Either that or Vinchester could build a defensive siege workshop. And, you know, he's not doing that. I thought that was a siege workshop. He's building a market instead. And a second castle in the center. Fire still no stone. But Fire's looping around. Can Fire kill 40 vills with this group of crossbows to change this game? Unlikely. Unlikely, right? Now with Thumbring, Fire can micro this down. I don't think Vinchester's expecting these crossbows to have Thumbring. The mangonel's there! Fire needs to kill the mangonel! Oh, Vinchester didn't even fire. Vinchester didn't even fire, so finally, there's some cracks in the armor for Vinchester. And oh, Fire's going up, guys. This could actually work. This could actually work. So Fire, he has significantly less economy, but he is building a castle, and he'll go for trebuchets before Vinchester ever can. I still think that Vinchester's position is very good. He'll be up to the Imperial Age with 3 castles. And I'll be just behind him. But there is a chance for Fire if he can make a few trebuchets. Yeah, Fire still just hasn't been able to do enough with the crossbows. Vinchester, really smart move to reposition his villagers. He doesn't have any villagers on the right side of the TCs. This is the only win condition for Fire now. Go Skirms and Arbalests and Trebs. The problem is his Trebs will be firing uphill. versus 3 castles. But this is the correct play for Fire. Definitely the correct play. I also like these small little things that players do where they leave a crossbow or 2 behind to be annoying. Obviously, that crossbow will probably die now. We got some T90 farms. Thank you, Vinchester, for showing me that I have potential to be as good as you someday. They're not that bad. And the problem for Fire is that Vinchester has so much gold that he can afford to make anything. He can make eagles. He can make anything he might want. Ooh! Oh, and the attack round from Vinchester. That's huge. That is huge. And Fire sees it now. He'll kill the Mangonel. He loses 1 more crossbow to it. Vinchester realized the crossbows were running that direction, and he picked a spot. It was a perfect spot. And yeah, still problems for Fire, I think, now. Especially after losing those units. Because he was hoping to come back to Vinchester's economy. Vinchester will have Thumb Ring. He will have probably Capped Ram. All of which Fire expects. He has the Mangonels. He's expecting the Rams to come in after his Trebs. And Fire's Trebuchets are on the way. Again, he's producing out of 1 castle. But you know what? This is a sneaky position for Fire. He's looped around. Vinchester didn't see him. Vinchester sees him a bit too late, loses a Vil. But I'll focus on the center now, guys. All of our focus needs to be on the center. Vinch is getting his upgrades. He'll probably kill these Arbs. And the most important thing is Capped Ram. Getting Capped Ram when both players are going archers is a huge, huge deal. And perhaps Fire wants to come in all in one swing. He doesn't want to send 1 Treb out. He wants to wait. Because as far as I know, Vinchester doesn't know the castle's there. Yeah, Vinchester's unaware the castle's there. So any Trebs might surprise him. So I wonder if Fire can do this now. He has Elite Skirm, which is a good counter to the Plumes. He sends out 3 Trebuchets, something that Vinchester's probably not expecting. And immediately Vinchester realizes, and he's going to add barracks, so he wants to go Eagles. Eagles would destroy the Skirms. But Vinchester needs to hold, and he's sending a lot of his villagers now to repair this castle, and he's sending his Capped Rams out. As expected, Fire loses his Arbs. Remember, Fire's 50 villagers behind. And as expected, Vinchester's using his Capped Rams to close in on the Trebuchets. But Fire has Mangonels. He has Quick Walls with his Vils. And I believe he's going to keep his Trebs alive. He's also killing Vinchester's Siege Workshops, kind of. Getting close to it anyhow. He does kill the castle. So Vinch has to get Eagle Warrior. He has to then get Elite Eagle Warrior. He then has to get all the upgrades. So the faster Imperial definitely working out for Fire. And Fire has 4 Trebuchets. Vinchester has all the gold control in the center, but unless he gets Elite Eagle, I'm not confident he can do this. He really needs to get his food eco right, so he can get these researches. Fire has 110 population in a game that I thought he was just dead in. And 120 population for Vinchester. And Fire's about to TC his stone, and Fire's about to kill another castle. And Fire's play has been really good here. He's kept the Capped Rams away from his Trebs. He's kept the Capped Rams away from everything that he needs. And he's killing the Plumed Archers from Vinchester. Vinchester could lose this game. I thought this game was over. Fire's still 50 Vils behind, but he has 46 military versus the 7 of Vinchester. Vinchester's archers can't do anything here. And tech switching into Eagles takes a long, long time. And then Fire could always mix in a few Plumed Archers, which he's doing. And with the upgrades he has, Plumed Archers would be enough versus the Eagles. So Fire, with an amazing strategy choice, he's coming back. And he's about to be ahead in population. Vinchester has all of this gold, which he needs for the Eagles right here, but how's he going to keep it safe? 1 castle left for him. Fire will see that in a moment, and then he'll just trap that down. And Fire's going to build his own castle! Fire is going to build his own castle right here and take the gold back, and he takes the score lead. Fire was 1,500 points behind. 1,500 points behind. 50 villagers. He didn't have the position. Everything I said earlier, he was just in a rough spot. But Vinchester, he didn't expect the skirmishers and the Treb approach. And he's really struggling now, and he's sending just Eagle Warriors out. These are just Eagle Warriors. These are not elite Eagles. He is getting plate mail armor, which is still helpful. But, you know, kills 2 Trebs. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Fire will just go with plumed archers now. And I think Vinchester, he needs the elite eagle upgrade. And even then, I think that if Fire has 2 castles producing plumes, probably 3, probably 4, because he has a stone now, the eagles might not even work. Fire TCs the gold. He's using his rams to kill the barracks. And now elite eagles on the way for Vinchester. But, you know, that eagle transition just takes so much time. I think that what Vinchester needed was probably some mangonels. I don't think he expected the elite skirm. I don't think he even expected the Trebs because Fire's castle wasn't scouted. And if he had known, maybe he would have gone for 3 or 4 trebuchets and it would have been enough. Now these are Mayan elite eagles. Vinchester still has a huge population lead. I don't want to say huge. He has a 20 population lead again. Yeah, as expected. These eagles are doing a lot better of a job. But if Fire can get more plumes out, he can mass the plumes to the point where he can kill the Eagle Warriors. And it's still hard to say. It's still a close game. Remember, Vinchester has so many more vills that he can afford Siege Ram. He can afford Elite Skirmisher on top of the Eagles. And that's what he's doing. But Fire has been given a chance. And Fire's taken that chance. And he's going to build another castle now. If Fire's back down to 100 pop, you can see the lack of economy is hurting him. Only 100 food in the bank. Doesn't even have the chemistry upgrade. Vinchester's capped rams still not going to kill any castles. But Vinchester, I think what he needs now is just to be patient. Be calm. Create more skirms, create more eagles, keep them all in the same spot. Wait till you have about 40 of them and then push in. He's sending a lot of units in one by one. I think he needs to wait. Because when you're sending them in one by one, Fire will kill them. But if you have 30 or 40 at once, then it might be okay. And he's still having that same problem where he's sending in small groups. But he has a lot of gold. And he also has skirms to back up the eagles. And he has siege rams here. So Fire's really struggling to just keep up with all of this. And oh, Vinch is sending in eagles after the Maganel. That's good. That means the siege ram can do a lot of damage to this castle. And keep in mind, Vinchester does not have a castle. So he can't make trebs. So if Fire continues with the Maganels behind the castles, which he is doing, these castles might never die. So Fire's used the Maganels wiser than most players would. And remember I said that Fire played Twig in a Mayans war. It was actually last night or the day before. And I wanted to upload it to YouTube. Well, he did a similar thing there. Small spoiler. And the Maganels, it's a castle age unit. You wouldn't think it changes a lot, but it really does. Let's see now. Fire's castle is just melting to the siege rams. 1,000 HP. These siege rams are so tanky. Can Fire keep this castle up? He almost needs to, or it's game over. And I don't think he's going to be able to. Not if Vinchester plays this correctly. Vinchester, he should use some eagles or a ram to kill the Maganel. And then I think Fire's castle drops, and I think the game's over here. What a hold it was from Fire. What a comeback it was from Fire. But Vinchester's economy is just proving to be too strong. The elite skirms, the Eagle Warriors, much better than just plumed archers. And the plumed archers aren't elite. They don't have chemistry. It's just Fire's bad economy coming back to haunt him. And there's the GG. That is the sign of what is to come, guys. That was an amazing Gold Rush game there. You know, it's tough because if Fire would have added as many vills as Vinchester, he would have never been to the Imperial Age. He would have been way behind to the Imperial Age and would have lost. So he needed to go for this low eco approach to ever get to Imp and to ever get to the gold. But Vinchester, his dominance throughout the early game in Castle, that helped him hold here. The extra economy was the deal breaker there. But yeah, cool game. I think Mayans Wars are very complicated. It comes down to making the eagles in transition. It comes down to getting siege rams out versus the plumes. There's a lot of complex factors. But that was an exciting game. So again, YouTube, I don't know just yet what my upload schedule is, but if you happen to see that, you might not see the rest of the games. The rest of the games will be posted in the description there, so you can watch them all unlisted. Here's the achievements. Vinchester getting slightly more kills, but what it will come down to in the end, guys, is that Vinchester, he could mix in other units. He could afford to do that with a lot more food, a lot more wood, and a lot more gold. Vinchester gets the first win. Almost through his advantage there, right? Some people were saying it was a throw. I don't necessarily think it was a throw, but it was something that he could have prepared for. Regardless, he gets